Four stages of manifestation. This is a new series on the manifestation mechanics. I'm going to be sharing with you in this live stream 20 years of manifestation practice and frameworks that have caused me to run out of manifestations and also help tens of thousands of both men and women worldwide. So welcome in. This is meant to be interactive. That's why I'm doing this live. So I hope you'll join us in the chat. If you're watching this in the replay, let me know in the replay afterwards that you're watching so we know that you're here. So I discovered the law of attraction in a really pivotal time in my life, sort of at rock bottom 20 years ago. And my biggest thing at this time was I was surrounded by women, brilliant, driven, ambitious women that had manifested great success in one area of their life. So I had family members that had amazing love in their life, but they never had money. I also was surrounded by women that had lots of money, but they had sacrificed either their health or their relationship to get the money. And so, growing up, being very observant, I started asking, is it really possible to have it all? And I didn't necessarily at this time, when I was younger, have like the manifestation language. I discovered the law of attraction in 2006 and really started practicing it 2007. So, about 20 years ago. And when I had the language, I was determined to become the first woman, at least that I knew, that manifested everything that I desired in all areas. But because at this time my life was really a hot mess, I had to begin with the biggest burning desire first. Let me know if you've been in that point where you're like, okay, my entire life needs like a pivot. My entire life needs to be redone. Like I need to get my life together. But there's so many places where I need to manifest that I feel overwhelmed. Like let me know in the chat if this has been you or if this is you right now. So this is where I was. And so I had to go to, okay, what's the one burning desire first? What's the thing that I have to look at, manifest first? And then, once that's done, I can move on to other things, knowing that ultimately I do want to manifest everything. Like I believe I get to have all my desires. And spoiler alert, 20 years later, I not only use this framework that I'm about to share with you, my four stages of manifestation, in my own life and manifested every single thing you can possibly imagine, and then some, even things I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even desire them and they came through. But now help tens of thousands of people from all ages, all religions, all backgrounds, all like nationalities, language, life situations, all the things. And so give me a heart or a thumbs up or a yes in the chat if you're ready to hear these four stages. And for those of you guys that have been a part of my work for a while and know my four stages, I'm going to actually share them in ways that I've never talked about before. So I'm referring to the Lady Balls book, which you can get at ladyballsbook.com. And I'm on page 55 is where it's the chapter called Babes, Barbies, and Lucky Bitches. And so I've got four manifestation stages. The first stage is the basic babe stage. Now, before we actually even get into stages, let me preface this by giving you a little, I don't want to use the word disclaimer, but just like a guideline of how to use these stages so that you're not weaponizing them against yourself or other people. That's not the point of this. This is not to make you feel bad. This is not judgmental. This is not critical. This is a life-changing diagnostic tool to know who you're being at any given moment. Because one of the biggest things I've learned about manifestation is that it's not what you're doing, it's who you're being when you're doing it. So, four women can do the same visualization technique. Four women can do the same journaling, scripting technique. Four women can do the same affirmations and get completely different results because of who they're being, not what they're doing, but who they're being. So please don't use this to make yourself feel bad. Please don't use this to call other people names. It's so interesting. I've been teaching this since 2019 now, this exact framework. And it's interesting. Well, people will like, it's usually the basic babe stage. Will people come and like, you're being a basic babe. It's like, okay, so I'm running this consciousness through me. Yes, that's good. What else do I want to run? Right? This is not supposed to be a bullying tactic. So basic babe is when your consciousness didn't meta update during your childhood, meaning you are trapped in this powerless state because you outsource your power. You're still stuck in that stage where someone else is responsible for your manifestations. So if you can imagine, like when children are born, they're dependent on other people, right? Meaning they manifest food, shelter, toys, outings, candy through other people, through their parents, through aunts and uncles, through grandparents, through their teachers. And so as they get older, they learn to activate their own personal power. So another way of saying this is that children are naturally in their feminine energy and they're receiving. As parents, it is our job to teach our kids masculine energy so that they integrate both. But some children don't learn masculine energy. They just get used to other people just giving them things. And so now they're, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're still in that state where they're blaming other people. Oh, my partner won't give me money, or he won't let me have this, or the government, or the recession, or there's always this feeling of my manifestations come from outside of me and someone else is keeping me from what I desire. So, have you ever experienced this, or maybe you know people that are like this, that everything is someone else's fault? It's their job, it's their country, it's their city, it's their skin color. It's always something else. And I'm not saying some of those things might not be true. However, what I learned is that the more responsibility I take for my personal power, the more I'm able to bend reality, the more I'm able to manifest. So I take radical responsibility for my life and what I get to have. I turn my liabilities, whatever whether it's my skin color, my height, or my gender, or whatever, my past trauma, I turn it into an asset. I'm like, not only am I not gonna not manifest because of this, I'm actually gonna manifest more because of this. I don't care what it is. I source my own power. So basic babes and these consciousness run through everyone. You could be a higher consciousness in one area of life, but a lower consciousness is another one. That's what I realized, and why I've been able to actually manifest in every area is I realized growing up, those women that had love, but not other things, they were higher consciousness when it came to love, but lower consciousness in other areas. That's why they couldn't manifest other things, only one thing. And I want women as a whole to get out of this thing that we can only have one thing at the expense of everything else. I don't like that. I don't believe that, and I don't want to pass that on to my daughter. And so I had to change that in myself so that my daughter did not inherit that template. Okay, so that's the first stage where you outsource power. The second stage is the self-aware Barbie stage. So this is the second stage of consciousness. And what happens in the second stage of consciousness is you have your personal power. So you have masculine energy, but you over optimize for it. So where basic babe stage, think of it as the wounded feminine. The self-aware Barbie is the wounded masculine. I love masculine energy. I love it in men. I love it in women. However, we need to be in harmony, right? So what happens in the self-aware Barbie stage is we now recognize our power, but we distort it and think that it's all coming from within me, meaning you think other people are not supporting you. This is the self-made trap. I believe self-made is a trauma response. It's not something to celebrate because none of us are self-made. None of us got successful in isolation. God supported you, angels supported you, your parents supported you, your friends, family, community, teachers, mentors, coaches, children, all the things. And anytime someone tells me that they're self-made, I know that they're in a trauma response because they are functioning from the self-aware Barbie that says only I can do it. Other people are not capable. I'm capable. And what happens with the self-aware Barbie is she now has personal power. Thank God. It's a step up from basic babe. She's not a victim anymore. She's not in victimhood. She has personal power. However, she's efforting, she's chasing, she's capped. Because when you effort, when you chase, when you make things harder than they need to be, when you're not using your divine resources, what happens then is you cap out. So self-aware Barbies cap out at six figures or multiple six figures. They struggle in love a lot. Oh my gosh, I have coached at this point tens of thousands of women through my courses, group coaching, private coaching, celebrities, reality TV stars, beauty queens, scientists, CEOs, like government officials. This is where they cap out the most. They struggle. First of all, dating becomes really, really hard, and you start telling yourself stories that men are intimidated by you and men are weak or da 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 or whatever, right? Because men polarize and respond to us, and because you're showing up in your wounded masculine, he becomes passive. In marriage, self-aware Barbies end up becoming the caretaker. It's almost like the mother figure. And in money, there is no way you can earn more than multiple, like six figures is the cap because you will burn out in your body, in your health, in your sleep. There's only so many hours when you're not working in Einstein time. Self-aware Barbies create from matter. They create from 3D, and there's always a limitation. And I'm celebrating you so big because this is a big leap up for women, of course, from basic babe stage. We don't want to be property. We don't want to be dependent. But we also don't want to be isolated and putting it all on ourselves. We want to recognize that there are other stages. So self-aware Barbies need to move to, I'm sorry, basic babes need to move to self-aware Barbie. That's an important part. So as parents, I have three children. That's my job to my husband, and my job is to take my children as they're born in feminine energy through stages of masculine energy so they could be integrated, not teach them masculine energy at the expense of feminine energy. How many of you guys that are watching right now learned masculine energy at the expense of your feminine energy? Meaning your masculine energy is so wounded that it holds your feminine hostage. Give me a yes, that's me in the chat right now or in the comments if you're watching this in the replay if this is you. And what this looks like is you work hard, but you have the inability to enjoy yourself. You feel capped in your income. Love is struggle for you, meaning it feels like you're the one dragging the relationship along. It feels like no man can meet you. It feels like men are intimidated by you. It feels like men are passive. It feels like you can earn money as long as you hustle and grind, but it doesn't come effortlessly, or you're capped at your income. You might also feel numb. Here's what I've noticed with all my self-aware Barbie clients. If you ask them to do something that doesn't produce in their mind an immediate result, they instantly say, no, I can't. Like if I tell them to take a 2-hour bubble bath with rose petals, they're like, I need to work. Like I can't do that. I don't have time for that. They have an inability to be in the pleasure because it's like results. And I remember I used to think people that took long baths were so weird. I would take like showers because it's like efficient. It's like very self-aware Barbie. I could be, people used to joke that Mina's to-do lists have to-do lists. That was me because self-aware Barbies work from discipline, not from devotion. Is that you? Let me know in the chat. Give me a yes, that's me. If you work from discipline and not from devotion, and that you feel numb, you feel like it's never enough. You always want more, and more is good. I love more. I'm a huntress, but more from a place of I'm full with what I have, not more because I'm chasing the next thing because I can't feel what I have. Who relates to the self-aware Barbie stage? Let me know in the chat or the comments right now. Say self-aware Barbie if this is you. I've got my Kainat ladies in the chat right here. Hi, hello everyone. Hi, Ella. Goddess of Universe is here. Shannon is here. Linda is here. I've got my Kainat crew. Who here has been trapped in the self-aware Barbie, which is good. This is a good stage. It's definitely a level up. Okay, the third manifestation stage is the million dollar babe stage. Now, the million dollar babe stage is where you start recognizing both your feminine aspect and now we're turning to page. I have, by the way, a diagnostic tool in here. It's on page 70 and 71 of the paperback so you can start kind of seeing, okay, am I self-aware Barbie? Okay, so million dollar babe, it starts on page 73. So you are a million dollar babe if you are able to flow fluidly between your masculine and feminine energies. It's like you can run both of them through your system and you can change back and forth. No, you are a million dollar babe if you know how and when to create polarity with your romantic partner. So for example, I'm here with you guys right now. I'm teaching, I'm coaching, I'm on YouTube. I had to set this up right. So if I took a scan of my body right now, I'm in about 60% masculine and about 40% feminine right now in my body. That's what I'm feeling. When I'm done with this live stream and I turn this off and I walk out the door, I'm going to drop in and I'll go into like 80, 90% feminine and about 10, 15% masculine. Why? Because my family is outside, right? I'm going to be talking to my husband, like connecting with my children. And so that took a lot of practice. It was like just that technique alone took me a decade. And of course, it was in stages to be able to like switch so fast. And people tell me all the time, especially my clients that see me in person, they're like, "Oh my God, your voice is different in person, but then your voice is different when you get on stage." It's because when you change, your entire physiology changes. Your voice drops, or like when I'm teaching, my voice is in my solar plexus. I teach this in my feminine voice mastery. When I'm in my feminine, I just switched. I don't know if you guys can go back and see that. Your voice box drops to your womb. You know those women, if you listen to, I say this with so much love, the Kardashians or women that are overly in their masculine, their voice box is here. They sound it's very like nasally. It can also sound like there's a throat, like a frog in the throat voice. That happens when they've locked into the masculine. So this is embodiment work, right? It takes time, it's fun, and it changes your entire reality because the frequency that I send out when I'm speaking from my womb, when I'm in my feminine energy, is going to have a different attraction and magnetism than when I'm in my authority and I'm on stage and YouTube is a stage as well for me, and I'm speaking from here. And it's going to be different when I'm talking to someone that requires compassion and empathy, and I'm speaking from my heart. It's going to have a different resonance field. It's going to have a different effect on the person, right? So let's say I'm in my authority voice, I'm speaking from my solar plexus, and I'm on stage and I walk out and I'm talking to my husband that way. How how is he going to receive me will be different. And so with a lot of my clients, because they are on TV, they're in media, they're in film, they're on stages, they're doing big things, they'll show up on dates with that energy. And then they're like, "Oh, like, he was intimidated by me." Really? Or was he like, "Oh, this is what I saw at work, and now I'm on a date, but I'm still receiving that same work energy from this woman. Where's the million dollar babe?" So what happens in the million dollar babe stage is you manipulate, I know that's a triggering word for some people, but you manipulate your reality depending on the results that you require, right? Like you're able to get into that leading charge energy that like go energy, but you also can be in your lean back energy. You can be in your surrender energy. You can be in your receiving energy. And they have very many different results. Like it has a different materialization depending on what energy you're running through your system. Yeah. So most of my clients, I would say probably 90% come to me in their self-aware Barbie. And they have had experiences of Million Dollar Babe, but they don't know how to stay there. And so when they come to my work, this is where I'll spend most of the time is helping them shift who they're being to the Million Dollar Babe most of the time. We're human. We're all gonna have moments when we fall into self-aware Barbie, when we fall into basic babe. Like I have conversations with myself where I'm like, Mina, you are having a very self-aware Barbie moment right now. Or Mina, that was a very basic babe type of a mood or move or thought. And so knowing that has been a game changer. And this is why this work has had such a big impact on humanity at this point, is because you're able to now recognize, okay, who I'm being is, right? Like, let me give you an example. So I was speaking to a private client and she was saying, it was a whole conversation. She was saying, I say this with so much love because I've been there. She was saying, I'm seeing this guy. And I was like, oh, you're seeing this guy. And so as we were talking a little bit more, I had to interrupt her and I said, hey, babe, I love you so much. I don't think you're seeing this guy. I think you saw a guy, but I don't think you're seeing this guy. And she was like, ouch, what do you mean? I said, did you just hear yourself? Like who you're being in this conversation is like very chasey. You're arranging for yourself to run into this guy. You're in the leading, chasing, masculine role. And she was taken aback for a minute. And the next day she messaged me. She's like, I see it now. She's like, this guy had made zero effort to come towards me. His energy was not coming towards her. Her energy was going towards him. Down to, I should eat this because men like this. I should wear this because men like this. I should say this because men like this. It's like, okay, who are you being? Who are you being when you're doing this thing? And even when clients reflect, say, oh, but Mina, in this video, you said I should do this. I said, who are you being when you did this? It's the same. Four women can eat the same thing, but who are they being when they're eating it? Four women can say the same thing, but who are they being when they're saying it? Are they being self-aware Barbie? Are they being basic babe? Are they being million dollar babe? Are they being high end divinity? Will change your results 100% of the time. 100% of the time. This is why you'll see the most successful women, that's not my definition of success, but the most successful women on this planet have success in one or two areas. There's always a but. There's always a, but I can't, like, but I can't have that. But men are like this. But like, I don't want to burn out. There's always a cap. And it's because of this work that they're able to see, oh my God, here I'm being a self-aware Barbie. Here I'm being a basic babe. And you're not going to materialize the result that you desire because those things give you, those stages give you a very different result. Who here has had moments of million dollar babe in certain areas? Give me a yes, me. But like self-aware Barbie in other areas. Yeah. Thank you for saying how long it took you to master this. Yes, mastery takes time, right? There's amateurs and there's pros. Pros require going all in. Being a pro in something requires locking in. It requires that does require masculine energy. It requires feminine energy too. It requires devotion. It requires obsession. Obsession. Like I will master this or die trying. That's what I said. I was like, I'm going to manifest all my desires Soulmate love, romance, sexy body, millions of dollars, family, children, dream house, dream car, dream wardrobe, dream career, or die trying. Or die trying. That's the kind of person I am. And that's who you need to become. So let's talk about the fourth stage. So the fourth stage, we are going to go to page 76. The high in divinity is when you have manifested everything you have desired and more for yourself. And now there's the universe, God, Kainat is asking for you to help other people manifest. This is when you become the field. This is when you go into your calling work. And most people require many lifetimes to get there, where they've done their divine assignment and karma and all that stuff in many different lifetimes. And then they come incarnated in the fourth stage. And then they still, not that they still don't have challenges, like I've had my trauma and all that stuff. But when you get to this point, you are now not taking from the field, you're contributing to the field. You become a frequency holder. You become so zoomed out. You have not only your survival stuff, Matt, you have your abundance stuff, Matt. You're like manifested and then some. Like I used to joke about this, but I'm dead serious when I say I've run out of manifestations. Alhamdulillah. Like from the grace of God, I have run out of manifestations, which means that God has blessed me beyond belief. And God has said, you have everything you've ever desired. I'll give you anything else you want. Help humanity. I'm going to now move through you, channel through you, help humanity, do your calling work. And when you align with your calling, remember that you are not the only one that's assigned to your calling. There's non-physical and physical resources aligned to your calling. Oh my gosh, that's a whole different way of living. It's a whole different way. And so as you move through these four stages, your reality will bend accordingly. The timeline you're on, the way you move, at the speed that you move, instant manifestations, like all that stuff shifts with you. And so where are you in various areas? Because that's another question I get asked a lot, is that can you be self-aware Barbie in one area and $1 million babe in another? Yes. Yes. And you can wake up and throughout the day, you can be flowing. The point is, who are you most of the time? Who are you most of the time? Where do you spend the most of your consciousness? $1 million babe, high in divinity, self-aware Barbie. And if you have questions coming up for this, feel free to put it in the chat. And I would love to dive deeper. I feel like this is a transmission that grows with questions. It's an interactive channel. So let me know. So important to know the difference in energy with this one. I love the honesty. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Shannon. Where are you and where are you manifesting at the $1 million babe level? So let me say it in another way. Self-aware Barbies are still manifesting from survival. Even though they have six figures and multiple six figures, their consciousness, who they're being, is still functioning from survival. $1 million babes are where it gets into overflow. That's where pleasure comes in. That's where wouldn't it be nice? That's where I want it in all the colors. It's like a yummy receiving, giving, working, playing. It all becomes one field. And then high in divinity is, how can I be of service? How can I be of service? How can I now from my overflow be of service and help other people manifest? Now, one of the biggest traps, and unfortunately this happens the most with the basic babes, is they want to jump to $1 million babe because they're in the wounded feminine. They want to jump to the healthy feminine without integrating the masculine, and you can't. It's not possible. It is impossible. It is impossible to skip the masculine energy. And they do it by trying to just marry a rich guy, and then life must teach you this lesson in this life. Otherwise, you'll keep repeating. You'll keep doing it. You'll keep being beholden to something outside of you, lifetime after lifetime, until you master personal power, which comes from the integrated masculine. Being able to make your own decisions, being able to make your own money, being able to have, giving yourself permission. And that's a hard lesson. They want to skip over the self-aware Barbie, but life will keep throwing you on your knees until you learn. That's just the state of consciousness that we're in, that all women are required to now integrate their masculine energy. Not wounded masculine, integrated masculine, healthy masculine. That's why we're incarnated in a time with the rules that we have and the laws that we have and the opportunities that we have. It's literally being handed to us. We have to take it. We have to be willing to take it. It's a very important rite of passage for women right now to be able to step into their personal power. And so some of the homework that I want to give you is start thinking about, where are you still outsourcing your power? Where are you still asking for permission? Where are you still playing small? Where are you still paying with flesh or paying with effort? So the basic babe pays with flesh. The self-aware Barbie pays with effort, burnout, overexertion, making things harder than they need to be, being the caretaker for everyone else. She sees other people as incapable. That's why I have like a whole thing in my book on this, that you have to see other people as capable. This is where spiritual laws come in, is you can't like save other people from the karma or the work or whatever they need to go through. Basic babes love to attach themselves, even basic boys love to attach themselves to self-aware Barbies so they can leech off of them. And so this is a very important part of your manifestation work. Here's what happens when you skip this and you're just trying to just manifest. It's haphazard manifesting. Who wants to be honest and admit you've they can only manifest once in a while, free things, small things, but they don't have a system. That's why I call this series Manifestation Mechanics, because when you get into the mechanical zone, it's like a very set system that as long as you're following these steps, it's it's like going to happen. It's guaranteed results because it's like, okay, this is the system that I follow. It's not haphazard. Sometimes I manifest, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have effort, sometimes I chase. Oh, thank you, Shannon, for putting those in the chat. Where are you still outsourcing your power? Where are you still playing small? Where are you still paying with flesh? Where are you paying with effort? Where are you still chasing? A lot of self-aware Barbie clients, they struggle the most in love. They're struggling in money. They just don't realize it because the world tells us six figures is like the bar. No, in God's infinite reality, you think six figures is the bar? Six figures a year? No, of course not. But because society puts that as a bar, they don't realize they're actually also struggling in money. But the loved one is obviously, even when they get married, it's like they end up always marrying the couch potato or the guy that doesn't want to invest in them, or his energy is not coming towards them, or it was, but now he's passive. You're doing everything. It's because of the dynamic you've created. It's not him, it's the dynamic. It's because of how you're showing up, he's responding to that. It's who you're being, not what you're doing. So when people message me and they're like, "Can I say this to him?" My response is, who's the sayer? Is the self-aware Barbie the sayer or the million-dollar babe the sayer? Is the high-end divinity? High-end divinity doesn't even have to say. You don't have to speak. You're controlling the field. The field is responding to you. So the answer to most of those kind of questions is like, should I wear this on a date? Who's going on the date? If it's self-aware Barbie, you're still chasing. You're trying to wear the right color so that you can pretend to be feminine, but you're still chasing him because your question is, what will he like? How can I make this easier for him? How can I make it where he chooses me, he picks me? That's very self-aware Barbie, right? Very much energetically chasing. So as a million dollar babe, you have unlocked your psychological boundaries. You have risen your floor, not just your standard. This is a big way that I could tell that someone's in their basic babe is they talk a lot about standards. I have high standards. I'm the prize. Standards don't mean anything without the floor. I don't care what your standard is. Show me your floor. Okay? Because here's what happens with self-aware Barbies. I'm sorry, not self-aware Barbie, million dollar babes. No, basic babes. I keep messing them up. I love my four stages. They're like my babies. Basic babes, they'll go from not working out ever to I'm going to work out 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. What do you think is going to happen? That's their standard now. What do you think is going to happen? After a week, they're not going to be able to continue that because their floor is so low, and then they go back to not working out. Or they're like, oh my God, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. He has to have $1 gazillion. I'm only going to marry a man that's perfect and he's God and he has $1 million. But then their ex texts them at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. and they're like, sure, come over. No floor. Standards do not mean anything without a floor. I don't care about your standards. Show me your floor and I'll see your future. That is your future. So what million dollar babes realize is that don't raise your standard, raise your floor. Raise like what you're unavailable for. Raise this or higher. That's it. That's it. It's like this or something better, this or something higher. So how a million dollar babe would do the same workout thing is that I'm going to aim for 7 days a week, but there's no way in hell that I'm working out less than 5 days a week. I'm lifting weights 5 days a week, aiming for 7. That's a true standard because her floor is high. She cannot even imagine a reality where she would not work out. Now, when a million dollar babe creates a love list for her dream partner, okay, she's not available for people texting her at like 12 a.m. for a last minute date. Her floor is so high that no one would dare. No one would dare. Or they could, but it's just going into her spam folder. She's not even looking at that. She's not available for that. Do you see how manifestation would change from who you're being? So what is your big thing, your burning desire that you're manifesting right now as we're going into next week, the fire horse energy, the lunar year of the fire horse? I'm so excited. This is like my language. You guys know I love speed. I love momentum energetic. That's why I'm doing this manifestation mechanics training series with you guys. Because when you can shift who you're being and how you're showing up, your entire manifestation game is going to change. And the thing with this, the beauty of this work is that you can replicate this in all areas of your life. You can do it in your fitness. You can do it in your money. You can do it in your love life. You can do it in your home life. You can do it in your parenting, relationships, friendships, career, business, like spirituality. There is no place where you can't apply it. Even when I have business clients and they're marketing, like no one's buying my thing, or I know I could sell more. Okay, who is this product created for and who are you speaking to? This product is created for million dollar babes and you're speaking to basic babes. There's a disconnect. They're not buying. You can apply this literally to every area. Every area. So shift who you're being and your reality must shift. It's law. It's spiritual law. It's a predictable formula. When applied, gives you predictable results for that reality. And if you're not getting the results you desired, I can guarantee it's because who you're being, it's not a consciousness match to the thing that you're manifesting. And I know in at least area of your life, you're nailing it because all of my clients are nailing it in one area. It's taking it and being able to nail it in all the areas. And I believe that this is something we must as women master so that we change the floor for all women. We change the floor for our daughters, our sisters, our friends, our neighbors, our community, our clients, and as a result, all women. We have to become unavailable for burnout. We have to become unavailable for struggle love. We have to become unavailable to having a unhealthy body, for not taking care of ourselves. We have to become unavailable to it. It's a decision. It's a decision. You're welcome, gorgeous. Thank you, Angelina. So if you guys would love more support, I've got links in the description box for you. Thank you so much for showing up today, and I will see you in part 2 of this series. Happy Sunday. Bye, everyone.